Hey everybody, welcome to Last Call, our last look at all of the action before the MLS weekend. Jonah Friedman here with armchair analyst Matt Doyle, and we're going to count down the big 5 storylines heading into this weekend. It's all Saturday action this weekend. We will start at BBVA at Compass Stadium at number 5.
One team that's hot, one team that's not. Philadelphia a little bit reborn under John Hackworth. Houston a little bit disappointing the past few weeks. The big issue in this one, though, both Shannon Williams and Ramon Gaddis are out, so going to be a question on that right side of the Philly defense. That means room for Brad Davis to operate. Good formula for the Dynamo, I think.
That's going to be Saturday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on MLS Live.
Number 4 on our list, New England hosts the Sounders.
New England's got to figure out who they are, and there's no time like now to figure this out. They're on a 3-game unbeaten streak, sure, but they looked terrible in the first half against Toronto, came back, got that result. They're now on a 3-game homestand, and it's a really good time for them to figure out if they're a player in this playoff race. And Seattle, as we know, they haven't won in 7 straight games. New England, they're still trying to nurse Shalrie Joseph back into the lineup. He's still suffering from an adductor strain. But Seattle really have to figure this out. They're in the bottom half of the league in scoring. Freddie Montero is going to be out for this one on a red card. The only other guy on that roster who has more than 1 goal this season who's available is Eddie Johnson. It's go time at Gillette.
That one's on Saturday night, 7:30 on MLS Live.
Number 3, it's a rematch in the same place from a couple months ago. It's DC hosting Montreal.
And finally, everybody on DC is fit and healthy and available. Re-signed Branko Boskovic. Yeah, they're coming off that loss to the Red Bulls, but I think they looked really good the last 20 minutes, and they're aiming to stay at or near the top of the Eastern Conference. They have the pieces certainly to do it. Montreal, a little bit Jekyll and Hyde the past couple of weeks. Looked very good at times, really thumped the Dynamo, but then didn't even show up against Toronto FC, who hung a 3 spot on them. Now, if Toronto FC can do that, you wonder what DC's offense can do, especially because Matteo Ferrari, Nelson Rivas, both probably out for this one. So they're going to be scrambling in blue. More Smurf soup, we don't know, but we'll see. A good crowd expected at RFK Stadium. DC prohibitive favorites, I would say.
And that one is on Saturday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. It's also on MLS Live.
Number 2 on our list, another Eastern Conference battle as Toronto hosts New York.
Toronto's look pretty good under Paul Mariner. They look reborn. They look remotivated. Danny Kuverman's now has 6 goals in 6 games. They still need to get that first win at home under Paul Mariner, and it would seem to be a good time to do it against the East leading Red Bulls. New York possibly getting Thierry Henry back into the lineup. It would be really good. He has not scored a goal for them since April. It would be a nice time for him to show up. Excellent time for the New York to show that they are for real and staying atop that Eastern Conference. It's going to be a good one at BMO.
And that one's at 7 p.m. on Galavision on Saturday night.
Number 1 on the list, it is the 50th regular season edition of the California Clasico. The San Jose Earthquakes welcome the LA Galaxy to Stanford Stadium.
Yeah, one of the really great rivalries in the history of MLS. I think most people consider the 2003 playoffs between these 2 teams to be sort of the peak of what this league can accomplish in terms of bringing the fans into it. Expecting something like that this weekend, 50,000 people at Stanford Stadium. I know both clubs are really excited about it. LA have a little chip on their shoulder now because so many people wrote them off at the start of the season with their rough beginning, but they now have 3 on the trot. They're in 5th place in the conference and looking a little bit like they have some of that 2011 swagger back. San Jose, top of the table. They seem to have all the pieces together, and they're playing with real fire and real commitment to each other. Everything points to this being sort of an epic game. I'm looking forward to it. I'll be there. I'll be running the chat. Please join me online. Can't wait to see what happens.
And that is, of course, on Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern. It's on ESPN2. And as always, there's a live chat on MLSsoccer.com hosted by this guy. We'll be there. We hope you are too. Check back all weekend for recaps and reactions from these games and all the rest of the MLS action. Enjoy the games.